Imagine plunging into the ocean's shadowy depths where the water turns inky black and silent as a grave. Here, in this forgotten realm, predators lurk not with gnashing jaws or slashing claws, but through invisible forces that dissolve life from within. We're talking about the microscopic assassins, those single-celled killers that rewrite the rules of the hunt. Ciliates, tiny harbingers of doom, drift like ghostly specters among plankton blooms. They engulf their prey whole, slipping past defenses with eerie grace. No crunch of bone or tear of flesh, just a quiet merger of predator and victim. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be consumed alive without a sound? These protozoans remind us that horror often hides in the smallest scales. Their world pulses with silent slaughter, challenging our notions of what a hunter truly is. Picture a ciliate, Paramecium for instance, gliding through sunlit shallows with hair-like cilia propelling it forward. It spots a hapless dinoflagellate, a glowing speck in the micro-ocean. In a flash, the ciliate extends its oral groove, sucking the prey inside like a vacuum from hell. Enzymes flood the food vacuole, breaking down proteins and lipids in a chemical frenzy. The victim's structure collapses, nutrients absorbed into the killer's cytoplasm. No teeth needed, no claws required, just raw biochemistry at work. Isn't it chilling how evolution favors stealth over spectacle? These assassins thrive in every drop of seawater, numbering in the trillions. Their efficiency ensures the ocean's food web never stalls. Yet, this is merely the opening act of nature's toothless terror. Now shift your gaze to parasitic protists, the infiltrators that turn hosts into unwitting tombs. Take Toxoplasma or Plasmodium kin in marine realms, slipping into cells like thieves in the night. They hijack the host's machinery, multiplying until the cell bursts in a microscopic explosion. Blood cells rupture, tissues weaken, all without a visible wound. The prey swims on, oblivious to the invasion gnawing from inside. What drives these invaders to such intimate murder? Survival, pure and merciless, in a world where direct combat spells doom. Oceans teem with such saboteurs, from coral-bleaching Symbiodinium parasites to fish-killing Pfiesteria. Each one a whisper of death in the water column. Their success proves predation need not roar to reign supreme. Consider the choanoflagellates, collar-celled loners that snare bacteria on sticky collars. They wave flagella like lures, drawing microbes into enzymatic doom. No chase, no struggle, just entrapment and dissolution. These relatives of sponges hint at multicellularity's roots in silent killing. In nutrient-poor waters, they dominate, outpacing toothed rivals. Does this make you rethink the food chain's brutality? Far from chaotic frenzy, it's a ballet of molecular precision. Prey bacteria release signals of distress, yet none escape the collar's grasp. Billions perish hourly, fueling the microworld's engine. This invisible war sustains the giants above, a foundation of dread. Delve deeper into Myxosporidians, spore-shooting parasites that infect fish muscles. They multiply slowly, turning flesh to jelly without alerting the host. The fish glides on, weakened, easy pickings for larger foes. No bite marks mar the skin. Death creeps like fog. How do they evade immunity for years? Cunning camouflage as host tissue fools defenses entirely. In aquaculture horrors, they ravage salmon farms unseen. Scientists puzzle over their life cycle, a cycle of quiet conquest. Each spore a promise of prolonged agony. Nature's subtlety here evokes a shiver. What lurks undetected in our own bodies? Vorticella, the trumpet-shaped stalker, contracts its stalk like a spring-loaded trap. It anchors to debris, waiting for rotifers or smaller ciliates to wander near. The stalk snaps, reeling prey into the gaping cytostome. Toxins immobilize, acids dissolve, no mess, no trace. In the plankton soup, thousands perform this ritual dance. Ever ponder if the ocean's calm hides such frenzy? Their blooms tint waters ghostly, signaling mass predation. Evolution honed this for energy-poor depths. Victims fuel Vorticella's division, birthing armies of clones. The cycle spins eternally, teeth obsolete in this realm. These micro-assassins bridge to larger horrors, but their lesson lingers like an unspoken threat. They devour trillions daily, recycling matter without waste. No fossils record their kills, yet they shape evolution's path. From them sprang jellyfish tentacles and squid venoms. What if they hold keys to alien life elsewhere? Their resilience mocks our tech, self-replicating, adaptive, unstoppable. In warming oceans, they may surge, tipping balances unseen. The mystery deepens. Are we watching life's origin or its quiet end? Plankton cameras glimpse their ballet, but much evades us still. Embrace the awe and the fear of these silent slayers. As lights fade in the micro-realm, remember, predation's essence transcends fangs and talons. Microscopic assassins prove killing can be elegant, insidious, eternal. They pulse in every wave, unseen architects of doom. Next, we ascend to midwater ghosts, but this foundation chills the soul. Questions haunt. Could such killers scale up unnoticed? Oceans whisper secrets, urging us deeper. Their world, vast and veiled, defies comprehension. Yield to the thrill of the unknown, where horror meets wonder. The hunt without weapons has only begun. As we leave behind the microscopic assassins of the plankton and venture into the deeper midwater zones, we enter a realm where colors fade and shapes become ghostly silhouettes. Here, the hunters show remarkable adaptations that defy our usual expectations. Imagine an animal with no teeth, no claws, and yet it hunts with devastating efficiency. These creatures are silent hunters who abandon brute force for subtlety and cunning. They move through the translucent twilight of the ocean with ghost-like grace, using otherworldly methods to capture their prey. What does it mean to be a predator when your teeth are replaced by venom, or your claws swapped for tentacles that paralyze with a single touch? It's a world where survival requires creativity far beyond simple predation. Consider the elegant and deadly sea angels, tiny winged snails drifting through Arctic and North Atlantic waters. Their delicate, transparent bodies hide a fierce appetite, especially for their close relatives, the shelled sea butterflies. Without jaws or teeth, sea angels use specialized buccal cones, almost like pointed fingers, to pluck their prey from inside its shell. It's a bizarre form of hunting, almost surgical in precision, where the predator dissolves its quarry piece by piece, leaving no obvious trace of violence. These fragile creatures remind us that in the deep seas, appearance can be deceptive, and lethality can come hidden in gossamer wings. What secrets lie behind their ethereal beauty, silently hunting through icy waters? Further into the darkness, we encounter the ghostly siphonophores, colonies of different animals cooperating like a single entity. Some of these long, delicate creatures extend shimmering tentacles hundreds of feet long, lined with thousands of stinging nematocysts. These microscopic harpoons fire venom that can immobilize small fish and plankton instantly. Despite their fragility, siphonophores are tireless predators, drifting slowly yet capturing prey with deadly efficiency. They demonstrate predation without teeth or claws is not a sign of weakness, but rather an evolutionary triumph of strategy. How does such a ghostly network of life form a deadly trap in the silent ocean, turning the water itself into a deadly net? The comb jellies, or ctenophores, add another layer of mystique. Their bioluminescent bodies flicker with rainbow hues, a mesmerizing dance in the darkness. Unlike their jellyfish cousins, these creatures lack stinging cells. Instead, they rely on sticky cells called colloblasts to snare their prey. When a small animal brushes against their delicate tentacles, it's trapped instantly in a glue-like embrace, unable to break free. This hunting method feels eerily like a trap waiting patiently in a horror story, blending beauty with dread. What evolutionary path leads to such deadly elegance, where capture is a delicate embrace rather than a violent attack? Deep-sea squids add even more complexity to this theme, their soft, muscular bodies combining speed with intelligence. Some species have lost many obvious weapons, replacing them with tentacles equipped with suckers that grip tightly and paralyze their prey with venomous saliva. Rather than tearing with teeth, they immobilize silently, swallowing struggling prey almost whole. In their ink-soaked hunting grounds, these cephalopods become masters of stealth and surprise, their eyes the largest in the animal kingdom, piercing the abyssal gloom. Imagine the pressure of hunting in a world without light where every move could mean life or death, and teeth alone would be useless. How do these silent hunters navigate an ocean shrouded in darkness so complete it feels like another planet? Consider also the enigmatic phenomenon of bioluminescence in these predators. A lantern in the void. Some midwater predators use light to lure prey closer, shimmering with otherworldly glows before striking. Others flash sudden bursts to stun or confuse. This use of light as a weapon adds a strange theatricality to predation that is both beautiful and terrifying. It demonstrates nature's ingenuity in the absence of traditional weapons. Could these lights be a siren song, drawing the unwary to their doom? Or are they a warning, a beacon of danger cloaked in mystery? The ocean's midwater hunters have mastered the art of illusion, silent in their deadly dance. In this twilight zone of the ocean, predators abandon what we traditionally think of as weapons but retain a primal, ruthless hunger. Their adaptations aren't just biological, they're psychological, exploiting senses, manipulating perceptions, and using paralyzing poisons. The horror here is subtle. No dramatic chases or bloody fights. Just quiet fatalism as prey are ensnared by invisible traps or rendered powerless before the final strike. One wonders what selective pressures sculpted such masters of subtlety. How do these hunters maintain the delicate balance between stealth and power in one of Earth's most unforgiving arenas? And how might these silent methods echo in the evolution of life elsewhere in the universe? By studying these predators, science opens a window not only into alien hunting techniques, but into the depths of evolutionary creativity itself. As teeth vanish and claws recede, silent hunters thrive by exploiting chemistry, light, and shape. Their ways inspire awe and a primal unease, a reminder that nature's toolbox always contains surprises. What familiar ideas of power and threat might crumble under the weight of these revelations? And what lessons do they offer for understanding survival beyond the ocean, in harsh environments on land or even other worlds? The silent hunters of the midwater zone beckon us to rethink what it means to be a predator, unveiling the horrors and wonders concealed beneath the waves. As we prepare to descend further into this strange abyss, the shadows lengthen and the mysteries deepen. The midwater hunters set the stage for even stranger forms of predation, where venom and deception replace teeth and claws. The eerie quiet of the ocean's twilight zone tells a tale of endless adaptation and survival born of mystery. Next, we will explore how chemical warfare and hypnotic tricks allow predators even more subtle and deadly than these. But for now, let the image of these silent, graceful killers haunt your mind. A reminder that not all predators roar. Many simply drift in darkness, waiting. We ascend now from the midwater's ghostly embrace into a twilight realm where light barely penetrates, and predators perfect the art of unseen slaughter. Jellyfish drift like ethereal veils. Siphonophores trail invisible death. Comb jellies shimmer with false allure. No jagged teeth snap shut here. No razor claws rend flesh. Instead, these soft killers wield microscopic harpoons that fire with lethal precision. Imagine tentacles pulsing faintly in the gloom, awaiting the brush of unsuspecting prey. What evolutionary sorcery replaces brute force with venomous subtlety? Their transparency fools the eye, turning hunters into harmless phantoms. In this zone, survival demands deception as deadly as any fong. The ocean whispers of kills too silent to echo. Jellyfish, those ancient drifters, lead this parade of paradox with box jellyfish cousins armed with nematocysts. Each cell a coiled barb, loaded with neurotoxins that paralyze nerves in milliseconds. A copepod grazes too close, and dozens discharge, piercing skin and flooding venom straight to the heart. The victim convulses briefly, then stills, drawn inexorably into waiting mouths. No chase, no struggle, just biochemical betrayal. How does such fragility conquer the vast sea? Moon jellyfish employ similar stings, their bells undulating hypnotically to lure krill. Bioluminescence flashes like distress signals, drawing fools into the fray. These are not monsters of myth, but everyday nightmares of the deep. Evolution's genius lies in the invisible strike. Siphonophores elevate the horror, Not single beasts but colonies of specialists fused into drifting doomsday machines. Tentacles stretch meters long, studded with pneumaticist batteries ready to unleash hell. Prey, a lanternfish perhaps, silently impales itself, toxins cascading through its bloodstream. Specialized polyps digest externally, slurping liquefied remains. The main body pulses on, oblivious to the feast below. Isn't it unnerving how cooperation births such efficient evil? Praia dubia, the giant siphonophore, spans over 40 meters, a living minefield in the current. Their bioluminescent bursts stun schools of fish into stupor. No central brain directs the carnage. Instinct alone suffices. Here, unity without teeth devours worlds. Comb jellies, or ctenophores, weave another thread of terror with their adhesive allure. Lacking stings, they deploy colloblasts, sticky globules on feathery tentacles that ensnare like supernatural glue. A small crustacean tangles, unable to flee as muscles contract, reeling it to ciliary rows. Enzymes dissolve the catch alive, nutrients absorbed through translucent skin. Their iridescent combs refract light into rainbows, masking the macabre meal. What ancient lineage birthed such seductive snares? See walnuts bloom in plagues, tinting seas ghostly blue while feasting unseen. No bones or blades mar their form, yet they rival sharks in toll. The midwater teems with their spawn, a silent invasion. Beauty veils brutality in equal measure. Now picture the vampire squid, a midwater enigma blending squid grace with octopus guile. No aggressive beak dominates. Instead, it drapes filaments coated in mucus and bioluminescent hooks. Prey mistakes them for food only to tangle in paralytic slime. The squid retracts, crushing softly with radula absent of fury. In oxygen-poor layers, it endures, scavenging detritus when hunts falter. Does this make it less a killer or more profoundly alien? Its cloak of webbing flares like a cape of shadows, ejecting glowing mucus to blind pursuers. Deep-sea cameras capture rare glimpses, fueling legends of abyss dwellers. Teeth foregone, it thrives on patience and ploy. Horror blooms in the unhurried hunt. Bioluminescence unites these killers, turning the dark into a theater of traps. Jellyfish counter-illuminate bellies to vanish against surface glow, shadows unseen below. Siphonophores flash in unison, mimicking plankton swarms to entice. Comb jellies pulse colors that hypnotize, prey swimming willingly to doom. Questions arise. Is light ally or deceiver in eternal night? Nematocysts trigger on contact, venom amplifying the ruse. No sound betrays the ambush. Silence amplifies dread. These adaptations outstrip mere weaponry, exploiting senses evolutionarily wired. Midwater becomes a realm of perceptual warfare. The unknown depth yields endless such stratagems. Yet beneath the elegance lurks primal fear. These soft killers remind us nature abhors weakness not through armor, but ingenuity. A tentacle's twitch claims thousands daily, sustaining oceanic cycles. Fossils scarce, their history veils in mystery, predating dinosaurs by eons. Warming seas may unleash their blooms, tinting twilight toxic. What if they ascend, veils of death enshrouding shores? Scientists probe with ROVs, unveiling fragments of this veiled empire. Each discovery stirs all laced with unease. Predation evolves beyond flesh rippers into molecular maestros. The midwater's hush hides symphonies of slaughter. Embrace the shiver. It heralds truths untold. As nematocysts retract and tentacles coil, we glimpse the pinnacle of toothless terror. These midwater phantoms pave the way for chemical sorcerers ahead, who wield venoms without touch. Their legacy chills. Violence refined to essence, elegant and eternal. Ponder the implications for life beyond Earth, where claws may never form. The ocean's twilight zone guards secrets that redefine predation itself. Yields of yield to the pull downward, where deception deepens. Silent hunters whisper of infinities unexplored. The awe persists, mingled with that primal thrill of the veiled abyss. Next, chemistry claims the throne of kill. From the midwater's drifting veils of death, we plunge into realms where predators wield chemistry as their cruelest blade, abandoning teeth and claws for potions of paralysis and pain. Cephalopods, cone snails, and sea slugs emerge as sorcerers of the sea, their bodies soft yet seething with venoms that rewrite reality for their prey. Imagine a harmless-looking mollusk unleashing a cloud of neurotoxin, turning swimmers into statues mid-stroke. No savage bite required, just a whisper of death dissolved in water. What ancient alchemy birthed these invisible assassins? Their elegance masks a horror that chills the blood, for they attack not flesh, but the very spark of life. In sun-dappled reefs and shadowed trenches, chemical warfare reigns supreme. Evolution's dark genius shines here, favoring poison over power. The ocean's apothecaries brew nightmares we can scarcely fathom. Cephalopods lead this legion of subtle slayers, octopuses and cuttlefish masters of mimicry laced with lethality. The blue-ringed octopus flaunts iridescent warning bands, but its bite delivers tetrodotoxin, a nerve blocker deadlier than cyanide. Prey, a careless crab, convulses as signals cease, limbs frozen in futile flight. The predator drags its prize to a den, enzymes tenderizing meat without a fang's mark. How does such a thinker, with 3 hearts and color-shifting skin, choose venom over violence? Cuttlefish deploy sepia clouds not just for escape, but laced with paralytics to daze pursuers. Their intelligence amplifies the dread, plotting kills with puzzle-solving brains. No brute force mars their grace. Chemistry claims the crown. These inky alchemists evoke a shiver. What if they schemed against us? Cone snails, armored harpooners of coral gardens, elevate venom to virtuoso symphony. Each species packs up to 200 conotoxins, peptides tuned to specific nerves like assassin keys. The geography cone fires a barbed proboscis, insulin-mimicking venom-lulling fish into hypoglycemic stupor. Victims school closer, drawn to their doom by metabolic betrayal. Isn't it macabre how snails compose molecular murder ballads? Harpoon strikes lightning fast, toxins flooding synapses to halt breath and beat. Collectors die painfully from mishandled shells, a reminder of sea's hidden fangs. No teeth gnaw, the shell remains pristine. These coiled enigmas guard pharmacopoeias that baffle scientists still. Horror hides in helical beauty. Sea slugs, nudibranch of riotous color, plunder toxins from prey to arm themselves anew. The Spanish dancer steals nematocysts from jellyfish, redeploying stings from serrata fronds. A fish nips too close, and countervolleys paralyze its jaws. Others secrete acids that corrode gill tissues, prey suffocating in slow agony. What evolutionary theft crafts such recycled wrath? Blue dragons cluster stinging cells into supernematocysts, clouds of pain dispersing foes. Their nudity belies nuclear arsenals, form following function in flamboyant horror. No claws clutch. Diffusion does the deed. These nudie bombers paint reefs with peril. The unknown lurks in every hue. Deeper still, venomous clouds become weapons of mass seduction in the blue-ringed realm. Some cephalopods exhale anesthetic mists, prey hallucinating safety amid paralysis. Cone snails modulate pain gates, victims sensing no alarm until too late. Questions haunt. Do these toxins dream up defenses in prey's final throes? Sea hares release opiate-like slurries, fouling water for miles in defensive orgies. Predators choke on chemical fog, blinded by olfactory overload. Evolution blurs offense and defense into seamless sorcery. No visible wound betrays the blitz. These gaseous grimoires rewrite aquatic warfare. Dread swells with each dissolving breath. Mimicry amplifies the arsenal, harmless forms fooling senses before chemistry strikes. The mimic octopus apes lionfish stripes, venom ready beneath the ruse. Flatworms deploy alamones, pheromones twisting rival behaviors into suicidal frenzies. Prey attacks kin, clearing paths for the manipulator. How profound the manipulation when mind succumbs sans touch. Elid nudibranch parade stolen stings like trophy barbs, colors screaming toxicity. Fish flee patterns alone, evolution's semaphore of death. Subtlety trumps savagery in resource-scarce seas. The horror lies in unseen puppeteering. Nature's chemists pull strings eternal. This chemical chorus sustains ecosystems veiled in mist and melees, toxins recycling through food webs. Warming waters may unleash blooms of venomous plagues, shores awash in alien agony. Scientists mine conotoxins for painkillers, irony twisting blade to bomb. What Pandora's vials await discovery in abyss vaults. Parasitic peptides hint at biotech frontiers, but risks lurk in weaponization. Predation refined to elixir invites existential awe. Fossils whisper of ancient arms races, peptides predating bones. The sea's pharmacopoeia defies comprehension. Embrace the thrill of veiled vials, yet fear the spill unseen. As venom clouds dissipate, we sense the throne passing to parasites within, hungrier hungers without form. Chemical masters prove deadliest hunters wear innocence as camouflage. Their legacies poison imagination, blurring life's line with languid lethality. Ponder parallels in alien oceans, where biochemistry births basilisks. The deep guard's recipes for ruin and redemption alike. Yield to the narrative's pull, where manipulation morphs to possession. Silent hunters evolve, teeth obsolete in toxin tides. Awe and unease entwine in molecular mazes. Next, infestation claims the kill. In the inky depths of the ocean where sunlight dares not penetrate, a mysterious predator waits silently, its most fearsome weapon not teeth or claws, but an eerie light. This is the realm of the anglerfish, a creature whose bioluminescent lure shimmers like a ghostly beacon in the blackness, drawing prey closer into its trap. Imagine a long, flexible rod that extends from its head, tipped with a glowing bulb fashioned by symbiotic bacteria that live within. The anglerfish doesn't chase its food. It waits with a patience born of darkness, coaxing curious fish and crustaceans closer with a hypnotic glow. How unsettling is this silent seduction, the promise of light amid darkness, leading unsuspecting prey to certain doom. The very ocean around it seems alive with this faint glow, signaling both life and death in a single flicker. This predator has adapted to a world where hunting must be both energy efficient and cunning, replacing the raw power of teeth with the subtle art of allure. The anglerfish's hunting technique is a remarkable example of evolution's craft. Its lure glows due to a symbiotic relationship with bioluminescent bacteria, which gain a safe harbor and nutrients in exchange for producing this living light show. Most deep-sea fish cannot see the dim blue-green light as anything but a soft sparkle, coaxing them forward with a mixture of curiosity and hunger. As prey approaches, the anglerfish's huge mouth, filled with sharp, translucent teeth angled inward, snaps shut effortlessly. Yet those teeth tell only part of the story. It is the light that truly captures, enticing victims in an otherwise blind, endless night. What drives this partnership between fish and bacteria? An alliance made in the abyss to craft an irresistible trap. The bacteria glow brighter when the fish is hungry, as if energized by their host's primal need. It's a dance of survival and deception, a light always burning just out of reach, inviting tragedy. Anglerfish themselves come in a bewildering array of forms, all united by this shared strategy of chemical-biological luring. Some species float almost motionless, their lures pulsing gently like fireflies. Others bob slowly, waving their lighted rod as a hunter might wave a tempting morsel before a pet. These bioluminescent bulbs vary, some flashing intermittently like underwater signals, others glowing with eerie steadiness. In many species, the lure resembles tiny worms or shrimps, mimicking vulnerable creatures to further entice prey. The ocean is their stage, and these light shows play out nightly as a silent yet deadly theater. How vast must the appetite be in such a place, hungry enough to spawn such marvelous dark adaptations. Their tentacles, broadened jaws, and expandable stomachs await whichever lucky, or unlucky, creature investigates too close. Survival here is a game of split-second decisions, one flash of light deciding who lives and who dies. But the anglerfish's menace extends beyond its glowing snare. Their teeth, while sharp, are translucent and needle-thin, angled so that prey cannot escape once inside the cavernous maw. There's a sense of horror in imagining bones trapped forever in a mouth that never truly closes, swallowed whole with terrible inevitability. Their stomachs expand dramatically, able to consume prey nearly twice their own size. A terrifying testament to opportunistic survival in the deep sea's feast or famine world. This grotesque feeding strategy highlights a paradox. Despite toothless appearance in some species, the anglerfish remains a model ambush predator of terrifying efficiency. How would it feel to be drawn in by a light, only to find yourself swallowed by a mouthful of waiting death? This slow demise, silent yet absolute, speaks to the ocean's cruel balance between hunger and scarcity. The female anglerfish's life is a mystery of evolutionary extremes, especially their grotesque mating system that borders on parasitism. Tiny males latch onto females, fusing tissues and even circulatory systems so completely they become a permanent secondary organism. In this dark expanse, finding a mate is a desperate gamble worth any cost, no matter how bizarre. The males survive only to ensure female reproduction, losing their own independence. This strange fusion mirrors the theme of predators that abandon traditional weapons, opting instead for biological integration and chemical control. The horror lies not just in predation but in the surrender of individuality for reproductive survival. Such strategies hinge on chemical signals, pheromones, and molecular negotiations invisible to human eyes. Might there be other creatures in the abyss for whom identity is as fluid as the water itself? Bioluminescence in the anglerfish is both weapon and mystery. While serving as a lure, it also offers camouflage through counter-illumination, where the fish's body glows faintly to match the weak light filtering down from above, hiding its silhouette from prey below. Some anglerfish can control the brightness and flicker of their lights, a startling testament to evolutionary artistry. This interplay of light and shadow crafts an eerie undersea glow, as if the ocean itself breathes faintly with living lanterns. Are these light patterns merely hunting tools, or do they serve secret communications among the deep's denizens? The ocean's dark canvas comes alive with glowing signals, creating an alien language of survival. Each flicker might say, "Come closer," or perhaps, "Beware." Despite their fearsome adaptations, anglerfish face threats from larger predators like sharks and sperm whales, reminding us that even masters of darkness are prey within the ocean's complex web. Their glowing lure can attract those who hunt the hunter, a cruel twist of fate in an unforgiving environment. The balance of light and shadow weaves endless cycles of life and death, each link a story of adaptation, survival, and peril. Their importance in deep-sea ecosystems is considerable, controlling populations of smaller fish and crustaceans with quiet efficiency. What might the deep-sea ecosystems lose if the anglerfish's light were snuffed out? Yet, the mysteries beneath the waves remain vast, with many species and behaviors still uncharted. This continual dance of predator and prey endures in the darkest corners of our planet. The anglerfish, silent hunter with glowing lure, symbolizes the ocean's endless capacity for innovation in predation. It invites us to reconsider what it means to be a predator, where weapons take unexpected forms, and survival hinges on manipulation rather than brute force. Beneath the waves, life thrives on a lexicon of light and shadow, chemistry and symbiosis, terror and awe. As we gaze upon this strange luminescent creature, we glimpse a world where beauty conceals horror and death shines as brightly as any star. The ocean's depths remain a frontier of mystery, where every flicker of light tells a story of life hunted and hunter waiting. Perhaps the greatest terror lies not in what we know, but in the silent darkness still unexplored. From the chemical mists of venomous mastery, we descend into the ocean's most profane predation, where hunters do not strike from without but infest from within, blurring the sacred line between life and host. Lampreys, parasitic barnacles, and writhing marine worms emerge as the ultimate silent killers, abandoning teeth and claws for insidious invasion. Picture a sleek fish gliding unaware as a lamprey latches, rasping a bloody funnel into its flesh without a fang's snap. No dramatic chase precedes this union. The parasite bores patiently, sipping blood like a vampire in eternal twilight. What unholy pact does evolution forge when one life becomes another's living larder? These invaders evoke a primal horror, for they prolong the agony, keeping prey animated while draining essence drop by drop. In coral crevices and abyssal plains, Parasitism reigns as the quietest carnage. The sea's underbelly pulses with such stolen vitality. Dread whispers. Are we all hosts to unseen guests? Lampreys, ancient eel-like specters, epitomize this internal reign of terror across freshwater and salt. Adults metamorphose into bloodsuckers, mouths ringed with horny teeth that scrape but do not rend like predator jaws. They clamp onto salmon or sturgeon, anticoagulants flowing to ensure endless flow. The host weakens over weeks, muscles atrophying, organs failing in slow surrender. Isn't it chilling how the lamprey swims in tandem? A grotesque conjoined twin dictating doom? See lampreys ravage fisheries, tunneling into gill arches for prime access. No swift kill honors the prey. Parasitism savors the torment. Their amoeboid larvae filter feed innocently, belying adult atrocities. Evolution stripped away claws for this sucker-kiss slaughter. Horror blooms in prolonged possession. Parasitic barnacles, Sacculina's kin, weave even subtler webs of woe upon crabs and lobsters. Microscopic cyprids settle on carapaces, burrowing into soft underbellies to metastasize internally. The parasite commandeers the host's ganglia, zombifying behavior into brooding its eggs. Male crabs grow barnacle ovaries, nurturing alien spawn over their own. What madness grips a creature turned unwilling midwife to its doom? The externa blooms like a grotesque flower from the abdomen, pulsing with parasite life. Host hunts falter, reproduction ceases in thrall. No teeth pierce visibly, control conquers quietly. These rhizocephalan reapers redefine predation as puppeteering. The abyss harbors such inversions unseen. Marine worms, nemertians and psyllids, slither into fleshier fables of infiltration. Bootlace worms ensnare cod livers, coiling miles long to monopolize organs. Ribbon worms drill through shells, proboscis injecting toxins that liquefy prey from afar. The host collapses into soup, slurped sans struggle. How does such elongation enable endless embrace? Pea crabs nest in bivalves, plundering gametes mid-spawn. Polychaetes like Myzostoma infest echinoderms, dwarfing hosts in symbiotic siege. No claws clutch externally. Internals yield utterly. These annelid assassins paint parasitism's palette broad. Unease stirs at boundaries dissolved. This infestation orchestra sustains oceans through shadowed symbiosis, parasites culling weak to hone herds. Climate shifts may amplify invasions, vectors thriving in turmoil. Scientists decode hijacked genomes, unveiling molecular marionettes. What dark therapies might mimic such mastery for medicine? Yet weaponized worms haunt biowar dreams. Fossils etch ancient alliances, parasitism predating predation proper. Food webs hinge on these hidden harvests. The horror. Life leans on slow slaughter. Ponder parallels in cosmic seas, where infestation innovates anew. Yield not to revulsion alone. Awe attends the architecture. Blurring intensifies with hyperparasites, worms preying on barnacles within crabs, chains of control confounding. Host dances unwitting in tiered tyranny, vitality siphoned serially. Questions pierce. Where ends the parasite, begins the free? In hydrothermal vents, scale worms guard tube worms, mutualism veiling predation. Abyssal isopods burrow into decaying whales, feasts persisting years. No external emblem marks the meal, internals chronicle conquest. Evolution blurs predator-prey into continuum. The mild horror mesmerizes, thresholds transcended. Silent hunters incarnate as stewards of death. Ecological epilogues reveal parasites sculpting evolution, driving defenses like thicker skins or frantic flushes. Mass die-offs trace to worm blooms, balances brittle as glass. Divers glimpse latched lampreys, shuddering at intimacy imposed. Genomic maps expose genes swapped mid-infestation, hybrids haunting heritages. What if humanity hosts abyssal analogues undetected? Warming poles unleash lamprey legions southward. The unknown teems with such tendrils. Embrace the enigma, predation patient as eternity, yet shiver at sovereignty surrendered. Infestation illuminates interdependence's edge. As parasitic tendrils retract into hosts' husks, The ocean exhales its final silent verdict. These inward predators crown toothless terror, proving conquest claims no clash. Life's ledger balances on borrowed breaths, boundaries but illusions. Reflect. Does freedom exist sans such shadows? The deep decrees consumption ceaseless, form fluid as flux. Awe overwhelms the abyss's architecture. Mysteries multiply, veils thinning to voids vaster. Next, epilogues echo in eternal night. Silent hunters seal the saga, whispering wonders wrapped in woe.